Hey y'all, welcome to the DayJah Vu podcast. DayJah here. This is my house. Welcome to my living room. Welcome to my crib. Anyways, the topic I'd like to address today is our collective conscious stream has been showing me that we're all kind of going through this time of seeing that we need to find the balance. We need to find the balance of our logical minds and our emotional faith side of our minds, which is non-logic, okay? So we have the logic that makes sense of everything, and we have the non-logic that's, not so much describable. But I like to put faith there because I think that's a good word that's like the unknown, right? It's a trust. It's a feeling that we're like, no, I have faith in that. I'm just going to trust in it. And I think that we kind of lose track of that sometimes when we want something so bad. And we've learned all these tools, these conscious tools. And we're like, well, I'm doing my meditation, I'm eating healthy, I'm doing all this stuff, and why is it not working out for me? Well, I think it's because we put so much concentration on the logic and making sense of everything that we lose the faith and the mystery that we don't know, the part of us that doesn't have control, the bigger picture of the universe, and knowing that there's something so much greater than us out there, that we can only do so much for ourselves, and we can only focus so much energy onto something until it causes suffocation or causes blocks, because our universe, our source, has a bigger plan for us, and they want us to get there. They want us to do what it is we want to do, but sometimes we lose track of that because our logical minds think it's going to look a certain way, and we lose track of it because we have this general idea of it looking, and it's not going to look that way because our source has a better plan, and they're like, yeah, you may think it looks this way, but it's really going to be even better than that. So we got to stay back, and we got to stay in the balance of each side to then be like, okay, here's the bigger picture. I'm going to step back and set intentions for logically what I want to do. So logically, I want to become a teacher. So instead of diving into all these things and being like, why, just realizing like, oh yeah, I have to trust in the faith that, the bigger picture is that my intention is set. Now I have to open my eyes to see it coming in a way that may not look the way that we think. And I think that we get so hung up there in thinking that our answers look a certain way that we miss them. And then we're like, oh, I'm not loved, this or that. All this like suffering comes in and blame, but it's really because we're smothering it so much by our logical minds thinking a certain way that we lose track of the emotional side, the faith side, the mystery side that doesn't have logic to it. So, just continuing to remind you guys to go back to that center in yourself, to go back to this part of ourself that we always explore these little parts of ourselves, and knowing that also that's it's not going to ever be sustainable, and our happiness is not going to be sustained in one part. So if we want to be something for a little bit, then we can't have the attachment to it being that. We always got to come back to the balance, come back to the middle of it being just one part of it. You know what I mean? So even in our logical minds, even in our emotional bodies, even in our hobbies, even in our expressions, even in our friends, knowing that that's just one part of us. That's just one stone in the river. That's one stone, but we are a whole river. So we spend a little time on the stone for a little bit, but then we got to remember that we're a whole river. We're a whole river that's flowing into the ocean. An ocean that is the mass of all of us. It's even greater than any of us. The infinite world, the water that's always flowing. We are the river. Don't get stuck on one stone. And I hope that this makes sense.